So I'm here with Hastr0's, the esports advisor for Treyarch on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So tell me about CoDcasting.
So yeah, we're taking a look at CoDcasting right here on the station, and it's basically a very, very dynamic spectator mode. It's a way of bringing the viewer into the game in a much heightened way, right? So not only is it that spectator mode, but it's also a way for you to view matches, replays of matches that you might have played in the theater, and really get into the core part of the game and things that you might have missed by just kind of playing, or maybe you were spectating, and if you didn't have the CoDcasting mode, there are things that happen so quickly in Call of Duty that you might have not picked up on in a match, and that could have made all the difference in the game. So CoDcasting is a way to bring in a viewing experience that you've never seen before in a Call of Duty game.
And this is part of like an increased push towards esports, which is in some way born out of the theater mode in Call of Duty that was first introduced in Black Ops, right?
Yeah, so the theater modes kind of existed there in Black Ops, the original Black Ops. You also had a spectator mode, but it was just kind of the bare bones of spectator modes. And what we found is that there's just this world of things that you can do with the theater and a spectator mode that really makes the viewing experience better. So that's what you're seeing here in Black Ops 2. It's basically a kind of a revamped system on both sides of theater and CoDcasting, and they can both work together.
I guess if you're not great at the actual meat and potatoes of Call of Duty multiplayer, you can maybe commentate instead. So I was wondering, you guys have a trick interface that shows you exactly what's happening in the entire map. Could you talk us through exactly how that works?
Yeah, sure. Just to go back on what you just mentioned, even if you're not really solid at the game, you can actually use CoDcasting to view your flaws, right? Go back and watch a match and use this mode to find out what happened to you, why you weren't playing well, what the other team was doing to be successful against you. So it's actually a way to get better at the game and also try your hand at actually commentating a match. So it serves a lot of purposes. But yeah, we can go ahead and take a look here at the screen, and you see at the very top we have a nice score panel up there, and that's essentially the meat of CoDcasting. It gives the viewer an instantaneous look at what's happening in the game. You can see how much time is left in the match, what team is in the lead, what map we're playing on, what game mode we're playing, and you can also see what objectives are being controlled by a certain faction or a certain team. We also have this mode right here. It's a one-touch button. I can pull it off or put it back on. Now this is the map overhead, and that allows you to see exactly where teams are set up and what their strategy is at the moment, where an engagement is about to occur, and that is probably the most important thing. When you're spectating a match and you have somebody that you're watching that's spawned all the way across the map, and there's no real way of telling if they're about to run into anybody, this is kind of the way that the overhead map view helps us. It's a way of getting into the action. So you can see right here that I could switch over back, and I know this guy's about to get into a confrontation. So they're throwing tomahawks right now, and as he takes that player out, I can look again and see where the action is about to occur. He's going to run into a few more players here, so I can cut back into the camera view, first person, of that player, and I know exactly when he's about to run into some players and there's about to be a gunfight. So we can bring you into the action a lot faster with that overhead map view. To supplement that, I can go back into this overhead map view, and what I'm about to do is called the picture-in-picture mode. So it's also a one-button trigger tap, and that trigger tap will allow me to pull in this picture-in-picture view, right? And so you'll see that we have a couple columns right here on the right side of the screen. The very right column is the kill streak column. That tells you how many kills a player has in a row. So we can see this player here has 3 kills, make that 4 now. So we'll switch over to his point of view. He just got taken out, and now you see a skull in the objective column. That tells us that he is dead. So the objective column also gives you some details into objective-based game modes. So let's say you have a capture the flag game. When a player pulls a flag, the player that pulls a flag will have a flag icon in that objective column. If you're playing domination and a player hops on a flag to capture it, it'll show which flag he's capturing, A, B, or C, right? So it's very intuitive for the viewer to watch in this kind of picture-in-picture mode and figure out what's going on in the game.
And for guys who are just starting out as shoutcasters, as commentators, is there any kind of terminology that you use that they need to be able to use as well?
Oh yeah, I mean there's plenty of lingo, as a caster whenever you want to commentate, but that's the beauty of being a caster, being a personality that's trying to create that viewer experience. You really want to have your own style. So you can go in and you can cast a match one way, but some other caster that's great might cast it a completely different way. So that's what's really cool. It's it gives you the ability to be your own type of person whenever you're commentating a match and when you're presenting it to people watching.
Certainly in terms of football and soccer in the States, there's a definite difference between American sportscasters and UK ones. Are you expecting to see a similar difference on COD?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we've had in the past. I know some of the European casters really, really well. I mean, I know they're good friends of mine now, and we have different styles, but we're also able to work together. I've casted matches at some of the biggest professional tournaments in the world alongside of those guys, and it's always fun to do because you get to bring your own style into it, and when it's your turn to talk, you implement your style, and another caster gets to implement his when it's his turn to talk, and it's just it's been a joy for me, man, to work with casters from all over the world and to bring a match to viewers. This is so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more people do it here with CoDcasting.
Excellent, Hastr0, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, absolutely, thank you.